I'm thrilled to join you tonight to celebrate the work of the Women Photographers Collective of the mid-Hudson Valley and your fabulous exhibition, Gestures of Care, Resilience, and Connection. So thank you all for coming. Tonight is the first night of Upstate Arts Weekend and CPW's participation in it. We have this panel tonight. We have another panel tomorrow called Queer Bodies, Queer Community, moderated by Anna Conlon, who many of you know, director at the Dorsky Museum, and featuring Luis Manuel Diaz, who's in the biennial, Morgan Gwenwald, Meryl Meisler, and Kate Warren, who are here, part of the collective, and Luis and Morgan and Meryl are also in the biennial. So that should be a great discussion, occasioned by the fact that there were so many really interesting and provocative works and artists addressing queer representation in the biennial. So that's tomorrow, 3 to 5. If you're around in this space, please join. Also on Saturday, we're having an event. 4:30 to 5:30, we're having a walkthrough of the biennial with many of the artists who are in the exhibition, as well as our two curators, Adam Ryan and Marina Chow. So that'll be a fantastic opportunity to hear more about this extraordinary exhibition that surrounds us and complements the collective exhibition. And then at 5:30 to 7:30 or so, there will be a big party to celebrate the launch of the biennial catalog, which is a fantastic 172-page book that includes information and images on all the artists in the biennial. So super cool. But tonight, we're really here to celebrate the women, the photographers, the collective, and the mid-Hudson Valley. I knew about the Women Photographers Collective from the start. I began here in 2022. I already knew about the collective that was founded in 2020. I think Kay Kenny was the instigator. Yay. And I had just started when the first exhibition took place at the Lace Mill in 2022. I was like, wait, why isn't that happening at CPW? But we have you here now, which is quite exciting. And what I think is really cool about the collective, I mean, I've been around photography a long time, and I know how these communities form and dissipate and change forms. But what's exciting about this collective, aside from being a collective, is that there's such a range of photographers, from documentary to fine art photographers, established professionals who've been in the game for a long time, and people who are new to photography, emerging artists and so forth. So that's super exciting. And then, of course, women. I used to know the photography world when it was entirely male dominated. And today I can say the most interesting and exciting works are being done by women. And maybe that's always been true. It's really funny that almost all of the shows we've had here have been women photographers. It's really Mary Ellen Mark and the fabulous Rose exhibition, which was all women. So salute the women and women identified photographers. And lastly, a shout out to Sherry Diamond for curating the exhibition here. Fantastic selection. It's only 16 of the 25 members, but a really great representation, and nicely paired with the biennial, because 3 of the artists in the exhibition are also in the biennial. So fantastic synchronicity. Sherry is going to lead the discussion tonight, along with Kay, Lori Grinker, and Meryl? Meryl, you're not on my list, but of course, we expect you to speak up. So thank you all for coming. Let's go. Oh, and afterwards, if there's any food left, we're having a party. Stick around, drink, look at the biennial and the collective exhibition. Party on.
Well, in case you don't know, I'm Kay. And Brian kind of stole my plan. This is what I was going to talk to you about. When we started, oh, I'm sorry. Too low? Now you can hear me? Okay. So Brian more or less stole my speech, which is basically this. How this all started was during COVID. We were pretty isolated. I started walking around with some friends, and Meryl was one of them. And we thought, hey, how about putting together an organization? How about getting a collective? I have a Zoom account. Let's do it. And that's how this all started. And as we started to reach out to everybody, we started really looking for work that was different, expressive, fine art, but also street art, not limiting ourselves to the kind of work and ways of seeing the world. And we also looked in terms of people who were not necessarily the most professional, who were people who were just starting to emerge, as well as people who had been there, as Brian said, for many years, myself included, many years. So that's how this started. And while I'm being called the person who started this, in fact, this is a collective. And I was never saw myself as the start. I was the beginning of a group of people who came together with like minds and like ambitions and like desires to make this all work, and they have. And we've been slowly growing, very slowly. We're being careful, and we're limiting it to just the mid-Hudson people. As you can see by the list, mid-Hudson, Columbus, Dutchess, Putnam, Orange, Sullivan, Ulster, and Greene. And that's it. We're going to stay with that because it makes it a little bit easier to work as a group. And we still have meetings on Zoom. We still have, we've had many, many shows now, all of them formed by different groups of people. That is different groups of working together and creating a show in Lace Mill, Olive Library, in New Rochelle, and Circle Gallery in Hudson, as well as Wired Gallery. So we're working together. And Birdcliff, of course. Ann McDonald, unfortunately, is not here. She was our show just before this one. So working with Birdcliff. I'm sorry, what?
You're saying she was the curator.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn this over now to introducing our members. And when we talk about our members, if we mention your name, please stand up, and we'll have plenty of time afterwards for you to ask questions about people's work. Oh, I'm sorry. That's why I'm not the director. Sherry, you're next. And Sherry is a person who created this wonderful show and this wonderful catalog of the work.
Hey, everyone. I did write some notes because I'm not very good at speaking to a large body of folks. So I just want to share with you how the idea came about and the process of curating the show with the collective. So when I saw the opportunity to propose an exhibition at CPW, because they do put out, and they have on their website, anybody can submit a proposal for an exhibition in the community gallery. I was interested in curating because I love bringing together work not only for how it works on its own, but how they work together, creating new meetings and conversations. I came up with a general idea of community, which I felt it's a community gallery. Our collective is a community, and it would be fun to play with that for the space, and shared it with our group to see if they were interested, and they were. So I began thinking about the work of the collective members and what kinds of conversations might emerge amongst the images. Through looking at the work, brainstorming, and discussions and conversations, I developed the idea for an exhibition centered on care, resilience, and connection. And those themes allowed for images that captured intimate moments and our relationships with one another, with nature, and with the larger community. So I set up a way for people who are interested in our group to submit their images, and was asking people, to submit their images that they felt related to this topic. We're a very diverse group, as Kay said, so not everybody's work easily fits into something like about care and resilience, and connection and community. But so basically, after the artists submit their work, I made an initial selection, which I then shared with Joan Barker and Morgan Gwenwald, who volunteered to serve on the exhibition committee. We met on Zoom, and I shared with them what I selected. Their feedback helped strengthen the exhibition. They had some other thoughts that were really helpful. And I also invited anyone from our group who wasn't initially selected to meet with me on Zoom and to review additional work they might have. So from those conversations, 3 additional artists were included in the exhibition. This exhibition was a collaborative effort. Joan Barker, Judith, I might say your name wrong, last name, German Heinz, Morgan Gwenwald, and Dana Matthews all helped with the installation. And then Ward Yoshimoto and Jackson Harden were just amazing in helping us. They actually installed all the work. So we're deeply grateful to CPW for the opportunity to show our work here, especially alongside this amazing exhibition of 39 photographers and the first biennial of the Hudson Valley. So thank you.
Good afternoon. If you are present, the artist that I'm speaking about, I appreciate it if you stood up because we're so proud of you. Gail Albert in the house. Okay. Gail Albert photographs, I'm supposed to look at the timer at the same time. Photographs the sacred and the fragile, leaving shifting in light, trees revealing faces, magic surfacing in unexpected places. As the planets heat up, she grieves the shattering of stability, and she keeps photographing. Albert is a fine art, digital photographer, clinical psychologist, mindfulness teacher, and a National Book Award nominated author, exhibiting across the Hudson Valley, New York City, and beyond. Joan Barker. Joan Barker works directly on photographic prints, drawing, painting, pushing the image from documentation into dialogue. The result holds a tension between intimacy and interpretation, pulling photography into a lived space. But Barker is a NIFA Fellow and recipient of multiple awards, including CPW Fellowships and the New Visions Award. Her work has been shown at Photographers Gallery London and is held in collections, including the Center for Creative Photography in Tucson. Would Anna Bergen rise? Anna Bergen is a fine art photographer and mixed media artist in the Hudson Valley. She earned a master's degree in art restoration at the Roman Germanic Museum in Germany. She says, seeing through my lens, ordinary scenes become opportunities to reveal mood, beauty, and quiet meaning. My inspiration is to look for new ideas of form, atmosphere, and light across a diverse range of subjects. I move between nature, architecture, portraiture, and abstraction, drawn not by category, but by moments that hold visual and emotional resonance. My approach to photography is not just about technical skills or composition, but rather by connecting with my subject on a deep level and allowing my intuition to guide me. Nancy Donskoy has been making photography since 1972. Thank you. Short ones. Nancy Donskoy has been making photographs since 1972, building a career that spans commercial work, gallery ownership, and fine art, from Manhattan to the Hudson Valley, Cologne to Belfast. She's drawn to symmetry in nature, urban decay, and the subtle play of light on ordinary things. I'm quoting Nancy. My photographs are fragments of everyday life, fleeting moments that often go unnoticed. Her work has been shown at the Dorsey Museum, Carrie Haddad Gallery, and internationally.
Hi, everyone. Sherry Diamond. Oh, I have to look at the time. Sherry Diamond is a queer artist and educator whose photo-based work, spanning analog and digital, investigates borders, sexuality, gender, mortality, and human relationships. Some of their recent work includes cyanotypes made from origami paper cranes and the 60-year project, a life-spanning archive transformed through digital drawing and tintype printing. Diamond has exhibited at the Samuel Dorsey Museum, Leslie Lohman Museum, and Art After Stonewall. They are a two-time NISCA NIFA Artist Fellow based in Brooklyn and Newburgh, New York. Jill Enfield. Jill. Jill Enfield is a fine art photographer, educator, and curator specializing in historical and alternative photographic processes. She has taught at Parsons School of Design since the late 1980s and leads workshops and lectures internationally. She's the author of 3 award-winning books used in institutions worldwide. Her work, from a portrait series that debuted at Ellis Island to Hudson River landscapes rendered as Palladium prints, is held in museum and private collections internationally. Judith, you're here. Judith German-Heinz is a Hungarian-American photographer based in Kingston, New York, whose work is driven by personal experience as an immigrant and a woman, and by empathy for those without a voice. Using wet plate collodion, a process dating to 1851, she responds to immigration, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and misogyny, connecting current social and political conditions to history. Her projects include Women Who Cover, A Monster in the Shape of a Woman, and In the Age of the Toxic Blood. Marianne. Marianne Glass left a VP career at Chase Manhattan Bank to pursue photography full-time and never looked back. She shoots exclusively with her iPhone, creating images described as spiritual, sensual, and elegant. Based in the Hudson Valley since 1999, she has curated over 200 exhibits, taught workshops across the US, Australia, and Italy, and is currently co-curator of Gallery 40 in Poughkeepsie.
Lori. I'm sorry, where's the button?
The arrows on the bottom left.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I didn't take I didn't rehearse. For decades, Lori has worked in close proximity to other people's lives, documenting war and people facing extraordinary circumstances. A.W. Eugene Smith Fellow, she is the author of After War, Mike Tyson, and The Invisible Thread. More recently, she has turned to documentary film, to working with family stories, got lost here, and transmedia. Grinker studied at Parsons School of Design and holds an MFA from Vermont College of Fine Arts. She's a full-time professor at the New School and represented by Clamp Gallery in New York City. Karen, who's unfortunately not here. Karen's not here, right? No. Karen Gosop of Pomerico works in photography and installation, exploring perception, memory, and human connection through layered imagery. Her current series, Mirror of the Universe, uses water, glass, and metal to create images in a state of transition, where boundaries dissolve, reflections become encounters, and meaning stays open. Pomerico is co-founder and art space director of the Pictorial Foundation and editorial director of the Pictorial List. She exhibits internationally. Morgan Grenwald. Is Morgan here? Morgan is an activist photographer whose images have become iconic in representing women's and LGBTQ communities. Widely published in the feminist and queer press, their work has appeared in landmark exhibits, including Art After Stonewall and the current Upstate Photography Biennial. A volunteer coordinator of the Lesbian Her Stories Archive since 1979, Grenwald is currently digitizing a vast archive of queer community life from the 1970s to 90s, with 2 photo book projects underway. Maria. Maria Fernanda Hubo is an Argentine-American photographer and performance artist who invented the La Fotográfica Performica, a form that collapses photography and performance into a single act. Her images don't document photography, they rupture it, exposing the raw human story beneath the societal constructs. Born in Argentina, her work has been exhibited across New York, Europe, Japan, and beyond. She lives and works in Kingston, New York.
Wow. Kay Kenny, would you rise again? Kay Kenny photographs the rural light. Long exposures that compress time, streak stars across the sky, and catch nocturnal creatures on the edge of wild and domestic. The darkness creates an eerie intimacy, a midsummer's night dream turned ominous. Kenny holds an MFA from Syracuse and has taught photography at NYU for over 30 years. Her studio is in Saugerties. Recent solo shows at the Griffin and Huntington Museums. Awards include 4 NJSCA fellowships and Arthur Griffin Legacy Award. Her work is included in numerous collections. Okay. Dorothea Marcus. Dorothea is a lifelong collector who in the last decade turned her eye to making her own work. She makes collages, photographs, monoprints that play with depth, texture, geometry, and color, often combining all three. She travels to Morocco, Cuba, and Japan. That's been fertile ground. A founding member of this collective, she has exhibited widely in the Hudson Valley and recently steps into curatorial role in Woodstock and Kingston. And Dana Matthews is here in the audience. Dana makes work rooted in Alabama's red soil and female lineage, photography, installation, painting, and bookmaking that explores the reciprocity between body and ecosystem. She positions the camera as a vessel of attention where the human and beyond human world meet. Her recent book projects, Pulsatilla and I Hear You Calling, which she has on her right now, extend a lifelong conversation with ecology and the feminine. Matthews is a McDowell Fellow and a RISD MFA graduate based in the Hudson Valley. And Ann Arden McDonald, who is currently at a residency, works with photo paper, light, and chemistry, and inventing processes which utilize optical situations or chemical reactions, or both. The methods are as unorthodox. They're a collection of materials and techniques from the domestic and scientific realms brought into the darkroom. She's developing these inventive processes and posing interesting questions about what photography can be. The imagery emerges as circles and spheres, representing planets and atoms, visualizing the microcosm and the microcosm of life as we know it. She's exploring the deepest story, the oldest story, the story of atoms and planets, both circles. This work is also an expression of her search for a sense of wholeness.
Okay. Meryl Meisler has been photographing New York's queer nightlife since the 1970s. First, the disco era, now a new generation of drag artists, performers, and nightlife regulars, using with the same analog camera, flash, and darkroom techniques throughout. Shaped by a distinctly queer perspective and a wry Jewish sense of humor, her work moves between spectacle and intimacy. Meisler is represented by Clamp Gallery, New York, and Polka, Paris. Charlie. Charlene Mitcherson is a retired professional photographer and self-taught digital artist based in Saugerties. Her career spans portrait work, nonprofit media, film and commercial production, and event photography across Texas and New York. Now her focus is shifting toward the landscape around her, quiet moments of beauty, and a deepening connection to place. She is allowing the natural world to shape what comes next. Susan. Susan Phillips works in photography and collage, building portfolios around graffiti, puddle reflections, rain, and street life, subjects the passerby has missed. A multiple award recipient from the National Association of Women Artists, she had been published in New York Magazine and Art Ascent, and recently co-curated a show at Leonvich Gallery in Chelsea. Phillips is based in New York City and Woodstock, New York. Carla. Carla Shapiro is a photographer and educator based in the Catskill Mountains, whose work explores loss, memory, womanhood, and aging through alternative processes. Platinum printing, wet plate collodion, pinhole, and Holga cameras. Her current project photographs men and women over 90, offering an alternative to a culture that fears aging. Her subjects are still practicing therapy, starting businesses, and taking up painting. They embody resilience, wisdom, and profound vitality.
Adina, is Adina here? Yes. Okay. Adina is a new member, by the way, so welcome, Adina. Is a photographer, printmaker, painter, poet, and educator whose work seeks the energy where the spirit resides, layering time, relationships, texture, and light into images that break traditional edges and materials. She holds an MFA from RISD and has taught at MIT, Northeastern, and in the New England School of Photography, as well as developing programs at the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. She works from her studio in Woodstock. Kelly Sinclair. Kelly Sinclair is a photographer based in the Catskill Mountains whose work finds the sacred in every day, in the intricate textures of nature and the quiet rhythms of life, death, and impermanence. Born in Manhattan, she studied black and white film photography in college and has exhibited in galleries and publications. She co-owns and curates work at Happy Life Productions in Woodstock and believes art has the power to heal. Kate Warren. Kate here? Hey, Kate. Kate is our second new member. So welcome, Kate. Kate is an interdisciplinary artist working in photography, performance, and archival research to explore identity, queerness, and care. Raised in a Catholic family and closeted into adulthood, she pursues queerness as liberation, staging gender in flux through the self-portraiture, costuming, and her family's mid-century archives. Her photo book project, Darling, weaves a decade of self-portraits and writing around the embodiment, gender fluidity, and the grief and relief of self-recognition. Ruth Wetzel. Hi, Ruth. Ruth Wetzel works concurrently on two bodies of work, both set in pools. Floating Flowers is dreamlike and gravity-defying. Cinematic freeze frames of flowers and water shot from inside the pool. Pool Noir removes the laughter, and replaces it with isolation, vulnerability, and quiet disturbance. Wetzel holds an MFA in painting from Maryland Institute of College of Art and is exhibited locally, nationally, and internationally. And I just want to mention that we also have a fantastic catalog that was designed by Sherry. And if anyone wants to peruse it, there's a box over here. So that's really our whole group. I'm sorry, did I forget something?
I don't know, I thought there was one more.
That's it. So that's our entire group at this particular moment in time. And I'm so grateful that all of you came and shared this experience with us. If we had an opportunity to see each other's work now, and an opportunity to see the show and also to enjoy each other's company. Thank you.
So we now have time for questions and answers, and it's perfectly fine to address individual photographers or us as a group. Any questions? Sherry. Sherry, do you want to come up here? I'm trying to get it. Can you get it?
I don't know which way I'm going, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the 60-year project came about when I realized kind of a little bit after the pandemic. I was a little bit in shock when I realized I was turning 60, sort of lost track of that. And I decided to, as a way of reflecting on my life, to go back through my family and personal archive and select a single image for every year. Yeah, every year. So there's 60 of them, 1 through 60. And I made a digital drawing of each photograph. So I kept what I felt was only the essential information using Adobe Illustrator. And then Jill Enfield taught me how to do tintypes. And I used her darkroom and I made a tintype of each image. So what you see in the gallery is a scanned tintype that then was printed on metal.
Can you also just mention the book and how, in the process of the book?
Oh, the book that I made.
60 years.
Oh, I made a book, an artist book after that. That's called Time Passes. It's actually in the book shop, and I made it using a risograph printer, and it's all handmade. I made 100 of them, and invited friends of mine who are writers to contribute. So there's different writers' text every decade or every 10 images. So thank you for the question. Oh, is there another question? I can repeat it to the group if anyone has a question or a comment for any of the photographers. Oh, yes, thanks. Does somebody in our group want to answer that? Oh, just not to hog the mic. So the question is, how does being a member of the collective, being all women or women identified people, what are the perks of it? Oh, a surprise perk. Meryl?
My life partner and I have moved up here in 1998. Basically, everyone I knew was my family and people I've known forever. From New York, from old friends. I actually made new friends through this group, and that's amazing. So that's a surprise to me. And plus, incredible artists who put their all into it.
I'll just add one thing to that. I mean, I think what's wonderful, like Shari said, that she went over to Jill's and Jill taught her how to do tintypes. And, you know, we mostly are a collective that works on exhibitions, but we also make committees and we can meet each other at our studios and talk about processes and teach each other things. So that's, I think, for me, one of the perks of being so diverse. Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you so much. What? Somebody? Party. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. Have some wine and some snacks. Thank you all. What did she say? Oh, everybody, our exhibit is in this room over here.